Hello, we are Astor Business Centers, and we provide support to small businesses. We also make short videos and share ways to run a more successful business. And other than this short intro, we get right to the point. So, let's get started. Hello, today I'm going to give you some hints and tips on how to have a really good experience on Bark. For those of you who don't know much about Bark, I will leave some information in the description, but we'll just get started. So Bark is an online platform to find and acquire new customers. It works well for people who understand how much each customer is worth to them and the customer lifetime value. But it won't work very well if you're just thinking you're going to go in here and find a bunch of new customers. So the first thing that I do need to explain to you that with Bark, you do pay for the leads. Now, the positive thing about paying for the leads in Bark is the fact that customers have already shown some sign of being interested in your product or service because they've had to fill out a form explaining what it is that they're looking for. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to just jump in and explain how I use Bark to acquire customers. The key is making sure that you set up really good filters in the settings. So if you go into your settings and then go to My Services, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to build filters based on who your ideal customer is. And if you're not sure how to figure out who your ideal customer is, we do have a template on Quizzard.com. If you click on the Resources tab and go to download your customer avatar template here, we do have a avatar template that will help you discern who your ideal customer is. But now we're going to go back over to Bark. So we build websites in addition to some of the other things that we do. And our filters are very, very, very specific. Let's just go through our filters for web design. Now, the first filter question is, what is your web design requirement? That's a question to the client. Now, at Website Casa, we create new websites. As a rule, we don't work on existing websites. So I've filtered it down to just create a new website and other. I haven't selected major changes and I haven't selected minor changes. So that means the leads that I get will only be for the creation of new websites or if someone's unsure. The second one is, what are your website needs? Now, the options are to advertise my business, to sell products and services, e-commerce, to offer bespoke functionality, or other. Now, we want to work with customers who are looking to advertise a business. We do e-commerce and we are looking for people who want to sell products and services. For the most part, although we can do bespoke websites, on this platform we find that most people don't really have the budget, which our basic bespoke website starts at $5,000. So most people don't have the budget, so we filter those people out. The other question is, or the next question is, which platform is your website built on? Now, this is an important one to us because we work exclusively with GoDaddy, but as I said, we can build a custom website. So we've only selected custom built, GoDaddy. We haven't selected Joomla, Shopify, Squarespace, or Wix. The reason why we haven't selected those platforms is because usually we find that people that are looking for Wix customizations have small budgets, or they're looking really to do it themselves with a little bit of assistance. So we try to avoid those customers. We have selected WordPress. We've also selected I am not sure and other, simply because some people, if it's their first website, won't really be sure what any of these platforms are. The next option is, what type of business is this for? Now, we're very specific in the projects that we take. We won't take personal projects because, again, it's usually a budget issue with people that are looking to do a personal project. We love working with sole traders and self-employed, so we put sole traders and self-employed, small businesses, medium businesses, large businesses, extra large businesses, charity and nonprofit, and other. Now, from time to time, I will deselect the extra large businesses because I have found with Bark, you don't tend to get really high ticket items. So we've just left that off, but sometimes we put that in. Now, this is an important one to us, is what industry do you operate in? So we've put Business services, because we like working with business services and people that are in business. Now, usually we deselect creative industries because we do find that people in the creative field are more focused on the look of their site as opposed to the functionality and the conversion rate of their site. Now, as a business consultancy who does websites, we focus a lot on making sure that the people that we build websites for, their sites convert well. So usually we don't go after creative industries. We don't go after entertainment and events for the same reasons. Financial services tend to be a really good client base for us because people know what they want. Health and fitness, home services like plumbers, electricians, that's one of the core and staples of our business. Food and restaurant, sometimes people have unrealistic expectations, so I'm going to deselect that one. Retail and customer goods, that one is hit and miss, but I'll leave that on. Technology and software, again, people that are dealing with technology and software don't usually tend to use Bark to find a provider, so I'm going to switch that one off. And I always, as a rule, leave other on because sometimes people are a little bit unsure. The next one is, and again another important one for us, is how soon do you want your website to go live? We are looking for clients who need it ASAP, within a week, within a few weeks, or within a month. On average, we build websites in about 10 business days, so we're looking for someone who's ready to go. The reason why we avoid customers that say within a few months is because usually it just means that they're just kicking tires. They're not ready to go now, and it doesn't make any sense buying a lead that someone doesn't have a sense of urgency. And I would like to discuss this with a professional. That hasn't been successful for us in the past. And finally, what is the estimated budget for your project? Now, the reason why we haven't selected less than 500 or between 500 and 999 is we found that what people say their budget is usually isn't their realistic budget. So we've had instances where someone has said that their budget is $500. We've contacted them and said, well, actually we could do that because it's simply a landing page for $99, and they've said that that's too much. So we tend to work with clients that have a budget of at least $1,000, knowing that our basic website that usually can fit the needs of someone with a $1,000 budget, our basic website would be $595. So right away, we are over delivering on their expectations. We have put 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 or more, but as I said, on Bark, usually we don't tend to find people that are looking to spend more than $2,000. Now, the other thing that I would say with respect to being successful on Bark is making sure that you're quite granular in how you approach your clients. Now, we have a physical location in Houston, Texas. We also have a physical location in London. But what we try to do is find clients that are close to our physical location. But then there's some other areas where we do well, so we've also added those other locations. But if you are a digital platform, then you can just say national. If you are a service provider, what you want to do is go into edit. You want to pick maybe your zip code. Our zip code is 77083. And then think realistically, how far would people travel to find your service? So although you do want to service people anywhere, realistically, because you are paying for the leads, what you want to do is make sure that these are customers that are actually going to come to your physical location if you have a physical location. I'm going to close on response. Now, response is super duper important. Now, at Quizzard and at Astor Business Centers, we do a lot of training. We tell people how to build pipelines. We tell people and show people how to proactively sell their products and services. Now, one of the keys with Bark is response time. So when you sign up and get your Bark account, I will give you a link that you can get some free credits. When you go into leads, the leads are the people that meet the criteria based on the filters that we just went through in settings. Now, what I do to be successful on Bark is I only contact leads that are about 1 minute old or 2 minutes old. So I have a part of the day where I sit and I wait for leads to come through. The reason why this is really important is because keep in mind you're paying for the lead. So you don't want to pay for a lead that, for example, is in this case, 10 hours ago. Because more likely than not, other people will have already contacted that individual. So what I would do is wait when the lead comes through. If it's, as I said, a minute, 2 minutes, I usually click on my one-click response. I'm not going to go through how to set up your one-click response because there's some great tutorials within the Bark platform, but I click on my one-click response. My one-click response already has a hook, it has a call to action, it has some urgency in it. In addition to sending them the email and assessing if I can send them a price, I call them right away. I call them immediately. So I send them an email and I call them immediately. And the next step in my process is I add them to my CRM. Now, a CRM is a great tool to use. Here at Astor Business Centers, we use a CRM product called Agile. Now, there are a lot of CRMs. There's Salesforce. We've used Salesforce. There's quite a few different CRMs, but one of the reasons why we use Agile is because even their free starter platform has some really powerful tools to help you with follow-up. So if you go to Quizzer.com, go to the home page, go down a little bit under the profile for Anthony and click on Agile CRM. There's a link where you can get a free Agile platform. And as I said, even the free one is really good. So we've gone through Bark. What I've really tried to explain to you is how to use it effectively. So number one, make sure you have filters that align with the types of customers you're looking to find, what their budget is. Number two, make sure you respond within a minute or two. As a rule, I do not respond to clients that have been sitting there for like 10 hours. Now, what I will say is because I have such a specific, such a granular set of filters set up, I don't get that many leads, but that's okay because my thing is not about getting a bunch of leads and paying for them. My thing is about getting leads and clients that are more likely to convert. So as you can see here, I get an estimated 8 leads per day. So that means within that hour slot, I may not get any leads, but because you're paying for the leads, it's not worth paying for a lead that you're not going to be able to convert. I'm going to answer the burning question that you probably all have, which is how much do leads cost? Now, the lead price depends on what kind of lead it is. So for example, the logo leads are a little bit less expensive than the web design leads. And the other thing that I will point out to you, the leads where they've asked to contact you, so a client has asked for you to contact them, correction, when the client has asked you to contact them, those leads are a lot more expensive. I haven't found that those leads are more convertible. For a while, I did have the Elite Pro. The Elite Pro gives you a listing on the website. So unlike the free listing, your contact details will show up online. Now, the Elite Pro is $29.95 per month. I tried it for about 2 months. I didn't get any additional work from it. I didn't find that it was very useful. That's not to say it doesn't work. That's just to say for what we do with web design, I still found that people would go to my profile, read my profile, have my contact information, and still ask me to call them. Now, because we have a very, very clear customer pathway, we want customers that are motivated. We want customers that have a sense of urgency, that when they found our profile and they've looked at our portfolio and have seen our pricing, they're going to pick up the phone and call us, not ask us to call them, because sometimes you try to contact people on Bark and they don't pick up or they don't respond to your text or email. In closing, one thing I will say about Bark, their customer service so far for me has been outstanding. I've had situations where the customer has put in a bad phone number or bad email address. I've just called Bark and they have given me the credits back. Sometimes they will send you offers where if you don't get any business from a pack that you buy, and you do have to buy the leads in packs or the credits in packs, they will send you offers at times where if you don't get any business, they will refund the credits to you. I've done that. Overall, I would say Bark is a great platform if you're a more mature business, if you understand what your customer base looks like, if you understand what your customer base needs, if you have a good sales process. If you're just getting started and you think that Bark is going to help you get customers, I would suggest that you hold off. Contact us or just go to Quizzer.com, click on resources, download some of the free forms that we have, like the business plan, the client avatar, the sales process. And then once you understand how much it costs to acquire a customer, and more importantly, how much a customer is worth to you, then Bark might be a good bet for you. So this is just a quick overview. As I said, I'll leave a link in the description of how to get some free credits from Bark. Also, I will leave a link to any other useful information. Really appreciate you listening. It was a quick overview. We are Astor Business Centers. We provide business support and short training videos like this. We also provide mailboxes, virtual mailboxes, serviced offices, virtual offices, meeting rooms, business loans, web design, print, and design. Thanks for watching.